Next model, and this is absolutely critical. One of the biggest models in all of game. This is the model. Next model, and this is absolutely critical. One of the biggest models in all of game. This is the model of social capital. And interestingly enough, I'll kind of go back to this for a second. Where is the value comfort thing? Okay. So when you look at value and comfort, again, I said it's kind of like filling up the cups, right? If you get the cups to the right fill level, you're good to go. And you kind of start at 0, okay? You can look at social capital as kind of a combination of your overall value and comfort established. So that's another way of looking at social capital as I explain it. So understand that as well, okay? So social capital is kind of a combination of value and comfort. It's like you can almost, it's not actually this. You can kind of look at it as value plus comfort equals social capital. Kind of. Not exactly, but kind of, okay? So social capital. Social capital is the idea. Where the hell did that cap go? Oh, did it? Okay. Social capital is the idea that in any interaction, you kind of have a bank account with the other person involved. And that is built, it's like an emotional bank account. Okay, so with a total stranger, that bank account is almost 0. Right? There's sort of like the assumed societal bank account of like, I won't murder you, and if like you're bleeding on the highway, I might like, direct someone not to hit you kind of thing. But it's not like I'm very committed to going way out of my way for you. Okay? So there's like general social courtesy. There's like, if you say hi to me, I won't be like fuck off to you, but I also might not want that conversation to last more than 10 seconds. Okay, so that's baseline, almost 0 social capital. However, with someone like a parent or like a friend you've known for years, you have tons of social capital, where like they could ask almost anything of you and be like, okay, I'll try, I'll find a way. Like there are people, I don't know, I'm not going to say this about myself for incriminating reasons or anybody here, but there are people you'd commit crimes for. You know what I mean? Like you probably commit a crime for your parents under certain circumstances, maybe, or a really good friend, who knows, right? That's a very high level of social capital, okay? So there's like almost no social capital to very high. And what creates that difference is sort of your shared past experience. It's how much positive past experience you have, and also how much expectation of positive future experience you have. Okay, that's kind of what your social capital bank account is. So when you walk up and talk to a girl, your social capital is at the level of baseline man in society. Now you can do things to increase it right away if you are stylishly dressed, if you open with a good tone of voice, if you open with like good eye contact, have good sort of honest signals in other ways. You can elevate yourself a little bit because you're putting yourself in a category of more social capital. But in general, between you and the girl, there's not a lot of relationship established, and so she's going to kind of treat you like average, normal guy. Okay? What that means is, as long as you're being fun and interesting and offering value, she'll put up with it and she'll engage in the conversation. But if you ask things of her or demand things from her, she's very likely to shut down and refuse. Because you just don't have it's like you don't have enough in the bank account to spend. Okay? So think of it this way. Offer value, the bank account increases. Ask for something, bank account decreases. Okay? So if you start at 0 and you ask for something, you get an alert from the girl that says your account is overdrawn, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Right? But if you go in and you offer value and build up some of that bank account, then a little while in, you can start asking for things and getting compliance. Okay, so that's what you look at is what is your social capital at? The higher it is, the more you can ask for. The lower it is, the less you can ask for. However, there's one really interesting wrinkle, and that is if you ask for something and she says yes, your bank account goes way up because compliance matters. But so when you get compliance, your social capital goes way up because the very fact of like human commitment and consistency, the fact that like when someone's made a commitment to someone, they have to justify that decision. It's now working in your favor. Okay, so when you ask for something and receive a positive, then that tends to work really, really well. Okay, so that's the deal. Is you do need to escalate. You do need to ask for things, but you should only be asking for things when you're going to hear yes. Every time you ask for something and hear no, the interaction gets worse. Every time you ask for something and hear yes, the interaction gets much, much, much better. And so that's kind of how social capital works. And this dictates how much you can escalate and how fast you can escalate throughout the interaction. Things are going really well, you can escalate a lot. You can ask for escalation. You never ask for escalation, you just kind of do it, but you can ask for that level of intimacy, right? Or you can ask her a question and expect to get a real answer. Whereas if you go in and start asking questions to a total stranger, she may be like, I don't feel like answering that, or why should I tell you? Or she might give you bullshit, okay? So again, offer value first, ask for something later. You do need to ask for things, but you only want to ask for the things where you can say yes, where you can hear a yes.